huh? Didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, sorry guys, this month I decided to let spooky ghosts infiltrate my room, hi. But just in time for the spooky seasons, I thought I'd go down a rabbit hole I went down in my early teens.
Creepy pasta!
From smiling dogs to psychopathic killers with such threatening names like Jeff. Creepypastas are unanimous with early horror media on the internet, a form of horror media that is subdivided in multiple genres across the internet, from retro creepy games like Ben Drowned, Godzilla NES, or from some of the icons of Smiling Dog, The Rake, Candle Cove, Eyeless Jack, Laughing Jack, Jack the Ripper, Jack in the Box, Jack Manifold, Tony Hixie. These creepypastas were definitely essential for early horror media, and some of these blew up. Some of these got games, and short fan-made films and projects on the internet, mainly fan fictions, and some of these got mainline attention. Slender Man, the front header of creepypastas and early internet horror media, a phenomenon that was born from the Something Awful contest in 2009, and after that the Slender Man became an internet horror sensation, an infamous urban legend among the web, sporting multiple fan-made projects from games, each of varying quality, from the groundbreaking 8 pages and its sequel, welcoming the arrival of Slender Man, to the countless games that plagued the Google and Apple stores in the early 2010s, some of these becoming massive hits, to online fan films, Marble Hornets being a prime example, spreading the fear of Slenderman into the mainstream. Slenderman became an infamous internet folklore, and when these types of figures blow up, they can strike fear and inspire the generation of horror fans, cementing the Slenderman into the hearts of many, cementing himself in internet history forever. Now, when you're as big as a thing as Slenderman, you're bound to be placed in mainstream media. Several references mention of this slender cryptic, garnering a massive impact on the internet space, with sites like YouTube getting all the goodies that this tall, bold white man has to offer. It was only just a matter of time before old Slendy would get attention of the film industry, just patiently waiting for a company to pick up the Slenderman IP, and lo and behold, 2018, Sony's Pictures releases what is known as Slenderman, a film adaptation based on the internet horror sensation. And, well, this movie was horrendous. It looks like it was made in iMovie with a bunch of these stock horror videos just flashing for specifically no reason. The reception to this film was abysmal, being described as lackluster and basically a boring horror film. And you gotta remember, Slenderman was at his peak around 2011 to 2012, and this film came out in 2018, way long after the Slenderman trend died down. 2018 was all about mascot horror games and big Marvel movies. Slenderman was just kind of thrown in there, being released in August, not even an October release where people might go and see the cinema on Halloween to watch the Slenderman film. You know, cash in some of the spooky season money. If it was released on Halloween, I would have hoped it would have made more money than it actually did. With a $10 million budget, it made only $51.7 million, which technically means it made over 5 times its budget. You know, it broke even, but still, it was a failure. But hey, it wouldn't be the first time Sony hated money. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It's been almost 8 years since this movie came out, so maybe it's good? That'll all be determined when I watch the film for myself, give my thoughts, and if it's as bad as everyone says, I will jot down some notes and I'll improve upon this film. So let's jump right into this with Sony's 2018 film, Slender Man. Can you see him? What you saw right there was the original video for this, well, video. Originally this was going to be a simple Slenderman video going over the movie, and while that still is the main topic of this video has definitely changed over the course of a few weeks. I became intrigued on the myth, the mystery, the legend. Talking about the Slenderman to me was almost like going back down a rabbit hole I never thought I would go down again. As someone who was born in the early 2000s, I was barely 5 years old when the Slenderman came into fruition, and so as a little tot on the internet, I grew up with the Slenderman. I saw how he wielded fear throughout the hearts of many, and just like the trees in the forest he haunts, I saw him disappear, barely out of sight. So when making this video, talking about the internet horror sensation, I became intrigued beyond belief. It was like I was unraveling a childhood fear that has been sealed for way too long. And for the first time in a while, I felt scared. So if you're in the mood to dive into the rabbit hole of an early 2000 internet legend and see the viral sensation that became something only spoken about in the past, why don't you take a seat and enjoy today's video where we unravel the horror icon that broke the internet and how the internet forgot about it. Now before I get into today's video, here's a word from our sponsor.
The forest.
So now, how do we tackle a phenomenon like the Slender Man? Well, guess we have to start where all good stories begin. At the start. The year is 2009. What a simpler time, where instead of AI slop, it was simple. Forums and Obama. I was like 4, I don't remember this shit. But on the website, Something Awful, a forums website where contests was being held where contestants would have to Photoshop the best looking paranormal photos. And on June 10th, 2009, a post was made by Eric Knudsen, who at the time went by Victor Surge.
We didn't want to go. We didn't want to kill them. But its persistent and outstretched arms, horrified and comforted us at the same time.
This image was the first ever depiction of the urban legend, though he did not get his full name until the second post, posted on the same day, standing in the background.
One of 2 recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library blaze, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished, and for what is referred to as the Slender Man.
And with that, the fear of the decade spawned. Overnight, the Slender Man became infamous, threads starting appearing more and more, dominating the site. More images began to spread with little lore dumps. It was clear that people had interest in the Slender Man. What came after would be monstrous. A mere 9 days after the Slender Man Something Awful forums went up, one of the most influential pieces of internet horror media spawned. Marble Hornets, a series YouTube based on the Slenderman mythos. If you knew anything about the Slenderman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. To some of you, you may have found out about the Slenderman through Marble Hornets. For me, I didn't, I was further time, shut up. Marble Hornets became infamous in spreading the Slenderman legend out into the mainstream media of the internet. Without Marble Hornets, I doubt the Slenderman character would have gotten as much of attention or appeal, or as an impact, as he did on the horror scene. The entirety of Marble Hornets clocks in almost 10 hours worth of watch time, including an actual movie tying to it as well, and all that spawned from just 9 days after the Slender Man was born. On the 26th of June 2012 is where Slenderman would reach their peak of their popularity, with a game that needs no introduction. To say this game was a hit would be an understatement. This game basically changed the entire industry. Back then, all the hype around this game was to watch your favorite content creators get scared out of their minds by the funny bald white guy. This was the game that struck fear into the hearts of many Let's Players, and is the piece of media that probably introduced the most people to the Slender Man. Not only did this one game change the course of YouTube, becoming a viral hit and sparkling the career of so many YouTubers to this day, Slender the 8 Pages, while I wouldn't say invented the game mechanic of finding collectibles around the map while a monster stalks you, but it basically popularized it into the mainstream media, and some of the games that used the 8 Pages formula became massive hits as well. Remember Granny? Well, that game series wouldn't be a thing if this game didn't come out. You see, before Granny, the developer behind it made a lot of previous games beforehand, those being the Slendrina games, which for basically all games had you collect items around the map to escape. While in later games there were more direct objectives and basically ended up becoming more of an escape the haunted house game, that still all stems from the Slenderman and the game The 8 Pages. Slenderman himself even makes appearances in some of the Slendrina games, and Slenderman, if that wasn't obvious. The reason I brought that up is because it just showed how monumental Slenderman was. Any other horror icon was nothing compared to Slenderman, and that's probably thanks to this game. While Slenderman was a popular topic beforehand, this game single-handedly made the Slenderman name known. And in only 3 years since his conception, Slenderman inspired people to make series, make games, come up with stories, and when all of that mixed up, it blew up and the fear of the Slenderman was known. He was all over YouTube. People at my school would talk about the Slenderman like he was this real urban legend. We would use to come up with challenges, dares, we would gather in groups and play the 8 pages, waiting for the last person to chicken out. Our hearts started racing when the static appeared. Slenderman at the time became the face of creepypastas. YouTubes from content creators, filmmakers, to let's players changed and evolved into what it is today because of the impact Slenderman had on the internet. Nothing compared to the Slenderman. You'd see fan art, cosplay, music videos, animated music videos, fan animations, a plethora of fan games that tanked the Apple stores. I already said that. He was a meme. He was probably most likely someone's sexual awakening as well. You see him in several different media, to your favorite shows, to those mannequins you'd see in shopping malls. Slenderman, My Little Pony, Slenderman, forums, tweets, those fucking top 10 YouTube Watch Mojo shit, fanfic readings, rap battles, Kid Slob, YouTube skits, and you'd see him at Halloween events. Robot Chicken even made a skit about this guy.
Are you in me, Angela? I'm f***ing Slenderman!
This fucker was everywhere. You can escape the Slenderman if you were anywhere near the internet. As the years went by and Slenderman kept on appearing in media like Slender the Arrival and the direct sequel to the 8 pages with the creator himself getting involved in with the project, marketing this as official Slenderman media, with lore, with his story. As time went on, other horror icons were making their way onto the scene, Freddy Fazbear probably being the closest successor to Slenderman in terms of popularity, and I think right now Freddy has definitely gotten past Slenderman in popularity, but I wouldn't say Slenderman was overthrown. Freddy Fazbear is now paired with horror icons like Chucky, Michael Myers, and Jason Voorhees, while Slenderman, I say he's still iconic. In recent times, his name has almost been forgotten about. A fear only present in the past, a character that traumatized a generation now hiding in shadows, as his name no longer haunted the minds of individuals, but the shadows of a forgotten past. In May of 2016, it was announced that Slenderman would be getting an adaptation to the big screen, with the first look at the film getting a trailer and this poster in January 2018. A full 6 years after the 8 pages and 9 years after Slenderman first came to be, it was definitely a bit late in the Slender hype. But this time Slenderman was still at least a topic to discuss. He was still rather popular even in the year of 2018. Probably not as impactful as he was in 2009 to 2012, but he was still a character people knew, and the king of creepypastas would have their chance to reach the silver screen. But little did we know was that this film would be one of the reasons we don't talk about the Slenderman in today's age. So, what happened to this hungry home invader? How bad was this film?
If I can give 0 stars, I would. Make sense? Oh boy. I'd rather let a toddler circumcise me with a plastic spoon and a jar of peanut butter than watch this film with just my least favorite film of all time. I think that the Slenderman sighting videos were better than this movie. He was pretty slender, and he was a man, I'm pretty sure. Slender Man. I think this is lore. I'm really fond of one of the ones you sent me. Hold on. My right testicle functions better than this entire movie. Really fond of that one. Better than Captain Marvel. Better than Captain Marvel! I'm gonna look like a patient. Don't watch it at 3 a.m. Parentheses. They found me. This movie is poo. I give it a rating of 1 sloppy fart. The plot is a ripoff of The Ring, and it and other horror films. No originality. 1 sloppy fart. You're gonna find me in like a.
I'm gonna find you like impaled on a tree in the forest.
Write that down.
The general outcry of this film was abysmal. Some calling it the most lackluster, disappointing horror films and just films in general they have ever seen. With a budget of $10 million, it made only $53 million at the box office, which to say this movie bombed was an understatement. This film single-handedly killed whatever Slenderman had on the mainstream media, which is probably why after this movie, Slenderman wasn't really a character to discuss anymore, and in the year of 2025, soon to be 2026, that seemed to be the truth. Besides a 10-year anniversary update for Slender the Arrival, Slenderman as an IP and as a character dwindled into obscurity, with the creator Kevin selling the rights to Slenderman. Now knowing that the company owning the character has gone under, it was basically impossible for Slenderman to appear in any official media. Slenderman as a whole was practically and most certainly dead. So in the ripe year of 2025, I am now an adult, and here I am, at my computer. I'm about to watch the Slenderman movie, remembering this fictional monster that used to haunt me, that used to be everywhere. Would time give this film the benefit of the doubt? Was it really as bad as everyone made it out to be? Well, there was only one way to find out. Can you see him?
Okay, I didn't realize this, but you can't actually stream YouTube movies. I didn't know that. Also, I just want to say the Slenderman movie is at its highest 480p for ultra high definition as it claimed. Alrighty, so Slenderman, Photoshop King of 2009, likes pages, big man, forests, lots of forests, proxies, creepy things. He's urban legend, getting that cement in my head. Alright. Ooh, Slenderman! Jeez, the quality is so shit. Okay, they're watching cat videos, so this is obviously takes place in 2009.
What's wrong with you? Okay, fine.
I need to remember the names.
Guys, the dude grows in the natural habitat.
Oi, hey. I don't appreciate that.
So, what's the big secret?
I mean, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
I know, Slenderman! Okay, so there's definitely a bit of love, tension between a few of that group. Alright, so it's this girl's family.
Hey.
Alright, so they family things, alright, there's influences there, okay. There's definitely connection, alright. Characters are good. It's not awful yet, guys. I'm gonna give Sony a chance. Oh god. Oh, guy's an alcoholic, yep. So problematic father. They want to leave the town. Alright. Setting down the basics. I'm treating this like it's like a fucking high school made project and not like a multi-million-dollar thing. Slenderman!
Why have I not heard of this? That's a much longer conversation.
It's 2009. He just came into existence, guys. What is that? That was a fucking wiki.
Once you see him, you're
Oh, they have Tumblr fan art. All right, proxies. Summon him.
All right, here it is. How to summon Slenderman.
Okay, this is pretty good. Pacing right off. Hold up. Hold up. 7 minutes and they already got to Slenderman. Okay. See, I was a bit iffy when they were going to summon Slenderman for like the internet means, but it's like tracing back to his roots. He is an internet horror sensation, so honestly, I kind of feel like it fits. Okay, atmosphere, presence. That's one thing I hope this movie gets right. Slenderman's presence. He has a presence throughout the film, then I'd say it has a pretty good chance of being like somewhat good. Is it Jeff the Killer? Oh wow. Alright, epilepsy. Oh my god, my eyes. Oh my god, my eyes. Oh. Okay, one girl's like that one girl's shaking out.
Let's watch a movie.
I'm watching the Slender. I really hope they had like an epilepsy warning and like when they play this in cinemas because oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, she's like paranoid. She's on her phone. She's like probably looking like the annoying orange Slenderman videos. I really like the soundtrack. It's like very heavy on the oh, she's in the forest. Oh, so that's the Slenderman. Okay, interesting. 1 week later. Okay, so they're still having nightmares about the Slenderman. Okay, I'm not sure about that scene. It was like very flashy. It didn't really have like a I don't know. It just seemed like they just flashed on shit just for like spooky, like flashy imagery, not an actual story. But anyway, we're only like 11 minutes in. We'll see. Oh, okay. I like this. I like how if they're like in a foresty area, which they are right now, that they're getting like paranoid. That's kind of cool. Classic horror movie trope of like thinking something is there, but it's not. Oh wow. Okay, I think that was a bit drawn out. Oh, she disappeared. How was she taken? She was like... Did no one see, like, big old Slendy just take her? Okay, prediction, she's gonna come back. But she's gonna be like a proxy. She's gonna be different. She's like, oh, we've been looking over for you. What happened? She's gonna be like very, like, out of touch. And, like, unfazed, you know? Some guy, like, tilted his head at, like, the slowest pace. How was that a scare? Oh, it's the drunk guy. 2018? Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take place in 2019. 2009, Jesus. This is like the year Big Chungus came out. Who the fuck are you? Oh, no, okay. I thought it was a silhouette. It's just one of the girls. My bad. I was confused because I thought Slenderman doesn't have hair. Have you seen fan art where Slenderman has hair? I don't think you have. Why is he back home? I thought he got arrested. He broke into someone's house. How is he... Oh my god. She's been drawing the Slender Man. Oh, that's cool. They're depicting him as a fucking tree. Oh, do they get away? Is everything all good? Okay, seems like it. It's a gigabyte of, like, malware. That's a video. Oh, no. They added the red fucking circle. No. Oh, no. It's actual, like, YouTube. She was out in the woods, alright. Are we gonna get, like, the Slenderman static effect? We're gonna get that, like... Please? Bit of fan service. In that video, she was recording herself, and not, like, the Slender Man? Oh! Oh, there's a shadow behind them! Okay, that's actually really cool. That's really cool. We haven't seen the Slenderman fully, but he does seem to be having a presence. It's like say you don't have to show the monster too much. It's like Jaws. You don't have to show the monster too much. But if that monster has a presence, you can still make a good film out of it. Okay, give this movie a chance. Just giving this movie a chance. There's some things I don't agree with, but hey, we're like we're only 29 minutes in. Oh my, what's the hacker guy? Is Slenderman using WhatsApp? Can we get her back? No. He's already watching. Oh, okay, that's a nice callback. That's a nice callback.
He gets in your head like a virus.
What kind of virus?
Like a computer virus.
Okay, the main girl's like trying so hard not to like snicker. She's like laughing, like ear to ear grinning.
We can contact Slenderman.
We can Hey Slenderman, hey, you free this Wednesday? See, even if like it is batshit crazy, you gotta actually like feel like you're trying something, you know? Because they are right. They do have like leads. They do know that like, oh, you know, Slenderman. For some reason, cicadas get really loud when Slenderman's around, so... Yeah, he does. Yeah, don't look at his face. That's literally one of the things, so, you know, that's pretty good. She is running, and Slenderman is somewhere, maybe, I think... Oh, shit. Did she run into a tree? Oh! No, that was the Slenderman. That was Slenderman. We got Slenderman.
Chloe? Did you see him?
Nothing happened.
Okay, yeah, no, she's a proxy now. Yeah, her tone is completely different. Yeah, no, that was... I knew it! I called it. One of them became a proxy. Slendy man, you know. Like, the Slenderman? Oh! They got his, like, electronic, like, powers on. She's getting a phone call, guys. And she's being stalked. That's her fucking house. Is Slenderman holding a GoPro? Don't open the door. Where's that? Oh, that scared me. They had like a suit in the fucking corridor. So it's like, oh, is it Slenderman? Oh, hello? Ooh, ooh. Oh my god, okay. Now that's actually kind of cool. Oh, hi there. Okay, so in the mirror she's choking herself. Well, the 3 chimes? What? Oh my god, I just realized 1 chime was when the first girl went missing. It was 2 chimes when... Oh my god. Okay. If I picked up that bell detail, I think I might be the first person who's actually been invested in the fucking Slender Man movie.
Yeah, sure.
Oh. Is Slenderman like eavesdropping? Is Slenderman being the third wheel? Oh, hi Slendy. Oh, he is being the third wheel. Find my pages. What happens if you showed like Slenderman brain rot? Oh my... That was so cheap. No. I love when they show me books, like pages and books and movies where I don't have time to fucking read them.
Hello?
Hello? I'm like looking around. I'm like a fucking meerkat. See? Oh my god. Why are you walking like that? I meant books, pages. It's related, guys. Oh, she's breaking down. Keep yourself together. You're falling apart. Come on. Show me your beautiful face. Oh. Oh my god. This looks like a set straight out of like To Catch a Predator. I have no idea why that was the first thing that came to my mind. They got a scratch. Stop touching the fucking vinyl, Slender Man. What is that face? What the my like thing is like going haywire? Hold up, why is my electronic my PC just went like a little static. Is Slender Man in my room? Can you leave, please? I mean you can come in, you know. You wanna like come in, Slender Man? We can have like a nice chat, you know. You like art, right? You like to do pages, you know. We're gonna have a little commission, you know. We're gonna have a little collab. Oh. Okay, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. I like that a lot. The fog and having Slenderman, that's really cool. Even though it's in the trailers, that's one of my favorite shots. And guess who's there? Oh. I love that perspective work. That's so cool. Okay, that was like a better like nightmare sequence than the first one, I believe. That was really good. Oh, she's been sick. She got the Slenderman virus. Oh, what the fuck? What was that scene? What was it? I'm very confused. I'm very confused.
Ellie, are you okay?
Sorry, I have to pause that. Was that naked Slenderman? Okay, we have 20 minutes of the movie left. And that's including credits, so like I think we have to wrap up very shortly. So like what the okay. That dream sequence is very that whole sequence, like the last 10 minutes has been kind of weird. I have no idea what that means. This is just my like thoughts, but at this point it kind of feels like they didn't really know how to, I guess, end it. So they're just throwing shit against the wall because like all this new stuff like at the end of the movie has only been introduced in like 10 minutes ago. Okay, that's actually chilling. Okay, that's a chilling line. I like that. I don't know why that delivery was really good.
Lizzie, to make him stop. You can't just give him something you love. Not enough. He wants us. He wants us.
Okay, so at this point they just realize Slenderman. Oh my god. Okay, so she has to sacrifice herself to save her sister. I'm guessing that's what's gonna go. She's just gonna die then. This actually might be like wrapped up like extremely fast. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. Oh. Oh wow, we're getting like full-on Slenderman action now. Oh wow. Oh wow. Big Slendy. Mega Slendy. And her body was ingrained into a tree.
We talk and write about him, share pictures, click on links, Photoshop images. It's all spreading his word, you know?
You know? No. Oh my god. The last words said were, you know? We want thoughts? We want thoughts. Okay, so...
Hey, have you ever wanted to hear a review of a movie spoken by someone else other than the person who wrote the review, despite the review being from the person who's making the video? Yeah, no, not at all. Cool, Slender Man. 5 out of 10. Wow, okay. Let's just go over this real quick. So, pros. Slender Man is definitely the best part of the film. He definitely has a presence throughout the film, which helps because he's basically introduced in the first 7 minutes. He has his moments, and I like some of the line delivery. The acting wasn't terrible. There were some flat performances, but there were genuinely some good acting moments and delivery. I feel like the setting worked, and them trying to incorporate Slenderman's internet origin as a plot was actually kinda cool. Slenderman being practical effects as well was cool. I feel like the Slenderman features of proxies and the fact he can mess with electric devices was implemented well, though I wish there was more of a direct static shot of Slenderman. The fact they made subtle nods to the 8 pages was actually rad as fuck. Cons. Some dialogue was whacked. The CGI is terrible. Slenderman was a fucking tree at one point. Some sound design was taking me out of it. There was one part where they slow down footage of Slenderman and a red circle appears like a fucking YouTube thumbnail. Okay. The pacing goes from sluggishly slow to really fast at points, which confused me on where it was in the story. The third act was awful. It felt like it didn't really have a focus, and they needed an excuse to wrap up the film. Like, no joke, the last confrontation with Slenderman and the very last scene takes place over the course of like 5 minutes. The last fucking thing said in the film was, "We're just spreading his word. You know?" You know?! There was this monologue at the end of spreading his word, we write about him, we talk about him, etc. And while I kinda get what they were doing, it's a fucking Slenderman movie! Some characters get introduced only to be sidelined. Also, be careful with this film, because it likes to shove in as much epilepsy shit as possible. It actually started irritating me. Some dream sequences make no fucking sense, and just feel like they're there for this movie to still be classified as a horror film. Overall, the film had some good points, but also very low points. I feel like if they tweaked things around, they could have made a pretty good Slenderman film, and just a good horror movie in general. Though I will say the poster is the rawest fucking thing I've seen in the cinema, which is a shame, because it's tied to such a mediocre movie. There you go, I hope you're happy.
To say the Slenderman movie was a boring film is an understatement. I feel like I only gave it a 5 out of 10 because I was commenting all the way through, but if I sat down at my local theater watching this, I would be beyond disappointed. It's clear what this movie wanted. It wanted to bring Slenderman to the big screen, but even with a simple approach like that, they fell flat on their face. You'd think the Slenderman would be the best part of the film, and that everything else was lacking, and to some degree,
you'd be right. When Slenderman does appear, and I mean actually appears and not just a blur on the fucking screen, he had a presence and he looked so cool. He's terrifying. At least, that's what I wish I could say. You would think Slenderman being the thing in the movie people came to see would be the best part, but even the antagonist of the film, the poster boy with his name plastered on the title of this film, the fucking Slenderman, feels bland, feels bleak. And that's due to one simple thing: mischaracterization. Now, to fully explain this, I need to first explain what the Slenderman is as a character, and well, I don't think there's a better person to talk about the Slenderman than the creator himself.
When I started doing the posts and the pictures, I was just impressed that the people in the thread itself thought it was really cool and interesting, and really never expected it to go out of the thread. It's easy to describe, kind of his appearance and maybe kind of his method, like his methods, but to describe his motives is like impossible, because that's the whole point. He's like an open source creature. You can ascribe to him whatever trope or whatever you find frightening, and that's, I think, part of his his appeal to a mass audience. When thinking about the physicality of Slenderman, forests are often very scary, creepy places. It plays a huge part in a lot of horror. But I also wanted him to appear anywhere. Like, you could be on an elevator in the middle of an urban environment and he could still be there. There could be a park in a city, and he can appear there. You can be in some out-of-the-way rural setting in the middle of, say, Indiana, and he'll be there.
What makes Slenderman impactful as a monster is that he's just simply something so different yet so simple in design. He's completely alien to any human, any creature or monster, yet there isn't any glowing eyes in the darkness, there isn't any sharp teeth, it's just a shadow of what looks like a man. Slenderman as tall as the tree and as slender as the branches, yet wearing a formal business suit, always watching, always observing, listening, and yet he has no face. Slenderman doesn't have a goal. He doesn't have an emotion. He doesn't have anything to gain when killing you. It doesn't satisfy him, at least we think. Look at him and tell me you can see any sign of anything. Joy? Sorrow? Slenderman is creepy because he could as well be just this corruption on the video. He's static. He doesn't have a sense of feeling. He's basically a blank slate, and I mean that in the best way possible. As basic as he is in design, his simplicity isn't the most horrifying part about him. He feels so out of place, yet he fits. Why are there pages out in the woods? Why does he have proxies? Why does he pursue his victims? Does he gain anything from it? And if so, what is it? Slenderman doesn't seem to use his victims as fuel or a feeding source. The thing that makes Slenderman terrifying is his uncertainty. If I could pick a monster that perfectly utilizes the fear of the unknown, I would give that to the Slenderman. You can't associate Slenderman to a feeling you know, and when you can't understand something, that creates stress, and that stress turns into fear. No matter if Slenderman is stalking you from afar or so close your ears bleed with static, it's all the same feeling. This heavy unknown presence, just a creature with no face, no thought. There's no rhyme, there's no reason as why he does these things. He's empty, he's hollow, he's unknown. So here's my problem with this film. Now I think it falls flat and is kind of bland, and it's just a boring horror film, but I just want to focus on the very specific thing with this film, and that's to do with the Slenderman himself. The way I would describe him in this film is like they already made this movie with another monster, but then just added Slenderman at the last minute. So I just feel like they touched the surface of what the Slenderman was and just stopped at that. Well, yes, they did touch upon Slenderman and his powers, kinda, and his mythos, but I feel like most of the horror that came from this film was of those flashy dream sequences or those cheap jump scares. By far the best scene from the film was when Joey King's character, Ren, is in the library. I say this because the actual threat in the scene is the Slenderman. Comparing the other scene to the other girls' perspectives, Jazz's character, Chloe, is another pretty good scene, with Slenderman creeping from behind slowing walking. He's a looming threat, and when the scare happens, it's the Slenderman who, I guess, claims her. I mean, she's not dead, but she's she is seen basically becoming a proxy by the third act. Julia's character Haley is probably the weakest scene where Slenderman is on screen because there's no real threat because we all know she has to die. There's no plan, there's no really anything. When Slenderman appears, he's just a big CGI mess. And then his last physical appearance is becoming a tree. Now, this in itself isn't too far-fetched. Slenderman is a creature heavily related to the forest and the depths of the wilderness. Being a Slenderman, he blends in with the branches that stand tall in the forest. But this scene just looks kind of stupid. I guess it's just my opinion, but I would have much preferred Slenderman blending in with the trees to catch people by surprise, not literally becoming a tree. Unless this is somehow part of Slenderman's mythos. I know in the early days he used to impale his victims on top of trees, but I don't know, this scene is just stupid. This scene fucking sucks. But I'm getting off topic. On a similar topic of the Slenderman being associated with forests and how it blends in with the tall trees, one thing I have to give props for is the Slenderman design for this film. I mean, the design for the film you can clearly see was a blend of a fleshy monster with the texture of tree bark. He has this cool texture on his face. I'm a bit iffy with him not having an actual suit or tie and more just pulling off the illusion, but in a lot of scenes I don't really notice it, and I mean he's barely in it so I couldn't really keep track of it. Oh yeah, and who can forget I had to watch this at 480p. $13. Fuck you, Sony. Going into this film, I already knew the Slenderman didn't have much screen time. As I previously stated, I said that if the Slenderman had a presence throughout the film, that could still make the inclusion impactful. But it's more of how the Slenderman is shown in his screen time. Again, most he does in this film is just chase someone down in the library, but you barely get to see him because his focus isn't on Slenderman, so he's just this blur you can barely see, until he creeps down and just fucks off. When he does show up, it's either extremely blurry, too dark to tell because Sony doesn't know how to light their fucking films, the overuse of CGI, or again, 480p, fuck you Sony. Does he have a presence? Yes. The whole film you get to see the deterioration of the group, all because of the Slenderman, but even that he doesn't really show anything off when he's actually revealed, which sucks because if you look at the behind the scene footage you can really tell that they poured so much into the Slenderman design. First of all, the suit is practical, which is a huge prop. The art department making and designing the suit did a phenomenal job, and you can really tell they wanted to stay faithful to the Slenderman's image while experimenting with a more modern, monstrous design. The way he moves, his stances, and just straight up aura. Yes, I did just say that. Maybe that's why the Slenderman movie sucked ass. They didn't let my boy Aura film. One behind the scenes clip I like is when they're interviewing the actor that actually plays the Slenderman, Javier Botet. I'm very sorry if I mispronounced that.
I think everybody can speak a lot about Slenderman because everybody can have a different opinion and sensation about what it is. He has no fear because he is the fear.
And from what I gather from my professional investigation journalism, a lot of this film and the reason why Slenderman scenes were cut was because it had to be censored to fit a PG-13 rating. This can be easily told, of course, by comparing the film to the trailer. A lot of the scenes considered too violent from the trailer were cut from the film, and also this scene I mentioned all the way at the beginning of the video. But we never find out, and we definitely never will, find out what this cut of the Slenderman movie was, or what it could be. Well, enough talking about this film. I've already spent way too much time on it, and it's honestly draining. Fuck this film. Fuck you, Sony. Ugh. Now, after 2018 and the bomb of the film, Slenderman hasn't really been in any official media since, and this is part of the video where I bring up an incident revolving around the Slenderman, and is more likely the reason Slenderman hasn't been in any other IPs or media since. I know this video is filled with jokes, but I want to take a moment to address the segment and I want to be respectful for the following. In Wisconsin, on the 31st of May 2014, two girls, Anisha Wire and Morgan Geyser, would lure another girl, Peyton Leutner, into the woods before stabbing her 19 times, leaving her for dead. Peyton was only 12 at the time. Fortunately, despite Peyton's wounds, she was miraculously survived the attack after the cyclist saw her in the woods and called 911. She was then immediately taken to emergency as surgery was performed on her, and luckily, the surgery was a success, and Peyton would make a full recovery sometime after. Security cam footage revealed both Anissa and Morgan near the highway. After that, they'd walk for a few hours before they were brought into questioning. While both the girls were being questioned, their mood was very bleak. Both Anissa and Morgan were caught with bloodstains on their shirts. Both of them showed little to no care whether Peyton was dead or alive. Then, when asked about why they did it, it was to appease the Slender Man. Apparently, they wanted to prove the existence of Slender Man, become his proxies, and live in a mansion in the woods. Morgan pleaded guilty and was charged with attempted first-degree murder, sentenced to 40 years to life in a psychiatric hospital. Anissa was the same and received a sentence of 25 years to life. Now, this incident indefinitely made the Slenderman a now controversial figure, both in the public eye and the online community. Many people speculate that the movie could have been capitalizing off the incident. People were rightfully outraged, and even some believe that the film was censored because of the parallels to the incident, and that ultimately left Slenderman a horror figure of the past. And now, we are in the present. Outside of a Slender Arrival 10th anniversary update in 2023, and more recently a revival in the Marble Hornets, Slenderman has made a very few appearances over the years, and here's a question I'd like to propose. Should the Slenderman return? Well, any answer to that is completely valid. While I myself do tend to enjoy Slenderman making a comeback, I would rather much prefer it to be contained and small in a line to how he is right now. I would be 100% down for a possible Dead by Daylight collab, which I heard has been in the talks but is not confirmed obviously. But with that question, and if Slenderman could return, there will be a controversy following that, and that's completely valid. Though one thing is for certain, Slenderman, no matter how you view him, has made an impact on the internet. And I think Slenderman, even if he's not at his peak like he once was, will always remain as an internet sensation. While there might be many horror icons that have impacted the internet, I like to believe that the Slenderman was one of the first big hits. The horror icon born from the internet was one of the first to break it. Thanks for watching. My name is Communist B, and I am out.
It's the thing that we fear.
Didn't want to go.
We know he abducted people.
We didn't want to kill them.
I started getting ringing in my ears.
He has no fear, because he is the fear.
You can ascribe to him whatever trope, whatever you find funny.
The report is strange and incorporates Slenderman's internet argument.
Viral nature has ever expanded reaching.
I keep having nightmares about his pale face.
Pictures include variations of a thin man with a blanked out face. He seduces them.
Everyone is referred to